Growing succulents indoors and achieving decent growth can be a bit of a challenge. There is one issue succulents and other plants face when grown indoors: lack of light. To many of you, I will now sound like a broken record saying this, but it is an important bit of context. Succulents are not all the same. Some prefer growing in full sun, while others do best in a bright shade. Many of the sun-loving sort will likely struggle indoors without plant growing lights, and the shade-tolerant ones may not grow very big or fast. And so in this video, I'll quickly touch upon which succulents will grow best indoors, and then we'll have a look at how to make them grow big. Any succulent can be grown indoors, but sun lovers will likely die without grow lights or a decent amount of sun coming through the window. The shade-tolerant succulents can survive the poorer light indoors, but many can grow extremely slow and small compared to their outdoor counterparts. Those of you with bright living spaces will have much more success, but even then, you will need the right plants. If you want big succulents indoors, you will need to choose species and cultivars that can grow big, as many succulents stay pretty small. And if you don't want to run grow lights every day, it is important to choose a succulent that will handle the conditions indoors. Here's a list of succulents that have the ability to grow to a decent size but also tolerate shade. Please note that this list is not exhaustive and that even these succulents can struggle indoors if the light is very poor. You can pause to read. If you like them spiky, quite a few cacti will grow big and do surprisingly well indoors by a sunny window. All of these can grow well over 1 meter. Unless you have an elaborate grow light setup or a sunroom, succulents indoors are highly unlikely to grow very fast or big. If you're hoping to have a big succulent indoors, the best way to achieve that is to buy the largest plant you can find. Tiny plants like these could take many years to get close to their full size indoors. I know this is a thing, as I've been growing and selling succulents like these for over a decade. People often expect little succulents to grow fast in any environment. Advanced shade-tolerant succulents can be pricey, though you can score a bargain at markets, garage sales, on Facebook Marketplace or plant swaps. If you have a succulent indoors that's not growing at all or don't want to spend the money on an advanced plant, one fast option is to raise them outside to your desired size. The results will vary depending on your climate, but any plant will grow better, bigger and faster outside during the growing season. Even if you only have 4 or so months of suitable weather, some succulents can double in size during this time. I grow small as well as advanced succulents in my nursery, and to get them big as fast as possible, I use good quality succulent potting mix and repot into a slightly larger pot when they start getting root bound. I also shield them from strong UV and possible damage by hail by growing under 30% shade cloth. If you have a bit of a garden or a balcony, you can do this too. Once you're happy with the size, you can bring them in and enjoy. All plants convert sunlight into growing energy. This is called photosynthesis. But the quality of sunlight is lowered as soon as it passes through the window. The further away from windows you go, poorer the light gets. This will often hinder growth in many plants, not just succulents. The good news is sunlight can be imitated. These days you can buy all sorts of grow lights in many stores. But to get any succulent, not just the shade-tolerant ones growing indoors, you'll need a specific type of grow light. The ideal specifications are as follows. You can pause to read. Grow lights can be the holy grail to growing bigger succulents indoors if you don't have a garden or outdoor space. Although indoor plants don't require as much repotting as those outdoors, I'd still recommend doing it at least once per year in spring. Potting mix and the nutrients in it degrade over time, and if your plant doesn't have a lot of nutrients, it will simply not grow very big. You can repot into a slightly bigger pot or shake the old potting mix off the roots and pot up in the same pot. Good quality succulent potting mix should give you the best results. It doesn't have to be too gritty either, as you can control the watering. Succulents do not really need a lot of fertilizing, but will benefit from a sprinkle every year. A good balanced fertilizer can also aid growth and help your indoor succulents get bigger. If you're repotting yearly and the potting mix already has fertilizer in it, this should be enough. You can, however, add a bit of slow release fertilizer later on in the growing season. Succulents like a balanced ratio of NPK. Look for values around 8-8-8 or 10-10-10. Although many succulents are not that fussy, it is best to keep nitrogen low. A teaspoon on top of the potting mix will be enough for smaller pots to about 12 centimeters. Larger pots can have a tablespoon. Spread it evenly across the top. You do not have to bury it. The nutrients will slowly leach into the soil when watered. Indoor succulents don't need to be watered often, but they will need some to keep growing well. In my opinion, the best way to water most succulents, including those inside a house, is to water when the potting mix has dried out. When you are watering, do water well and drench the whole pot. I'd avoid spraying or misting. Washing the body of the plant once every so often is recommended to get the dust off. When you can, open up the windows for your plants. They like fresh breeze and it will discourage buildup of moisture, preventing fungal disease. If you close your blinds or curtains during the day, the likelihood of your indoor succulents doing well is slim. I know privacy is important, but the simple truth is plants will not grow in dark rooms. You can try sheer curtains. Light will still be able to come in the house, but they will make it hard to see in. Growing succulents indoors can be difficult, so don't beat yourself up if it doesn't work out or if your plant is growing slow. People will have different experiences with indoor succulents depending on the amount and size of windows, sunlight coming in, the type of succulent, etc. But being in the horticultural industry and also having the ability to talk to customers directly, I've learned that many fail the first time or two. I've failed more than once. It happens, and often it is not even necessarily your fault. So don't be too hard on yourself if it doesn't work out. Just like anything, growing plants is a learning process, and more you do it and research it, the better you'll get. And on that note, I think it's time to end. I hope this video was useful. You can let us know your tips and tricks in the comments, and I'll see you all later. Thank you so very much for watching.